Mabuhay, I am Joshua Toca. I am from Bsicm 1-1. I am a student from Bsicm of the Philippine University of Laguna. And for today, I am going to be demonstrating crossing, fabrication of chicken, basic knife cuts from vegetables, and lastly, I'm going to demonstrate mongering. So yeah, without further ado, let us begin. So to start off, always make sure to remove any areas that you have because this can lead to contamination if misplaced. Also, be sure to wear a hairnet every time you're in the kitchen. Always practice proper grooming and check your fingernail. Don't mind the dark spot on my thumb since it's a stain from my hair dye last 2 months ago. And also, lastly, wear proper uniform. So we're gonna start off with basic knife skill. A reminder, don't point out your finger like I've shown in the video. Use the claw grip technique so that your fingers are safe. So we're gonna start off with bâtonnet. When cutting bâtonnet, peel the carrots and cut it into 2 to 3 inches length. And just repeat the remaining sides. Up next is julienne. When cutting julienne, place your carrot pieces lengthwise into 1/8 inch thick slices. Up next is fine julienne, and it is just the same as julienne. The only difference is you're going to slice your carrot 1/16 inch thick. Up next is paste and cut. For paste and cut, make sure to cut 4 sides of the carrots and make sure it is 1 millimeter thick. For carrot cut, on the other hand, just make sure to cut a rectangular and then cut it 3/4 inches, almost kind of like a dice. So up next is parmentier, or also known as medium dice. What you're gonna do is just cut a smaller version of carrot. So up next is macedon. For macedon, it is just the same procedure as the last two, but the thing is, it is much more smaller, or also known as small dice. So up next is a rondelle cut. For rondelle cut, it is just very basic. All you have to do is cut the carrots without any shapes. So up next, we're going to cut brunoise. For brunoise, all you have to do is cut the onion on half, cut it horizontally, then vertically. Same procedure as fine brunoise, but the difference is you'll have to cut it even more smaller, and always leave the top so that it would be much more easier to cut. So up next is minced. All you have to do is chop it finely. And there you have it, minced. And lastly, we have chiffonade. All you have to do is put your ingredients on uniform and chop it finely. So before we begin with our chicken, always make sure to remove the excess feather and pat it dry, and also remove the tip of the wings and also the buttocks. So for preparation of trussing, grab a yarn or a rope and make sure it is not the hairy type, and measure your chicken 6 times of its size. here is the method number 1 that I'm going to show you for trussing a chicken. Make sure that the thigh is crossed together. And here is the method number 2 for trussing a chicken. As I've shown here, I remove the neck but not the skin. So before we cut the chicken, again, always make sure to remove the excess feathers and also cut the tips of the chicken wings. And also clean off the back. So what we're doing here is we're cutting the chicken on half. It is also known as spatchcock or also known as butterfly technique. So what I'm doing here now is I'm cutting the chicken on half again so that we can get the thigh and also the wings on half. So we're gonna cut it now to quarters and make sure to cut the spine and not the bone from the thighs. So for the continuation of cutting it to eighths, I'm trying now to cut the leg part. Do not cut the bone, rather disjoint it. So at this part, I am just trying to debone the thigh part. So the easiest way to debone a thigh part is all you have to do is score from the side, creating a straight line, and then use your knife to score it again. And there you have it. This is the meat from the thigh, and this is the bone. So for this part, I am just creating a chicken lollipops from the leg part. Remove the joints from the top of the leg part so that your chicken lollipop is clean and presentable. So we are now down to the wings and the breast. All you have to do is cut the wings and make sure to dejoint the wings from the breast so it will be easier to remove. So here, I am just trying to debone the breast part. What I'm trying to do is, I'm doing the same technique that I did from the thigh, and all you have to do is score it or use your finger so that it would be easier to remove. So up next is the chicken wing. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to separate the drumette or the larger part of the wings to the wingette or the smaller part. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm making a chicken lollipop out of the drumette. So at this part, I am just trying to separate the wingette from the tip of the wings, and I'm trying to make a chicken lollipop out of the wingette. You may also notice that there is two bones on the wingette part. All you have to do is remove the smaller bone and then choose the bigger one to make the handle for the chicken lollipop. So now that we are done on the half, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other part. So there you have it. This is the meat from the thighs and also the breast part. And this is our chicken lollipops from the leg part and also the wing part. Specifically the wingette and the drumette wings. So there. So this is my demonstration of mongering. Before we begin, choose a fresh round fish and make sure that it is not spoiled. So before we begin, get your kitchen shears and all you have to do is cut off the fins from your round fish. So now that we removed the fins of the fish, we're gonna go ahead now and descale it. And always remember, when you are descaling a fish or just simply preparing it, always make sure that you are preparing it near the sink or any running water so that it is clean and presentable. Up next is we're going to cut a horizontal line below the belly so that we can get the guts from the fish, just like so in the video. While you are removing the guts, also include the gills of the fish from the head. So now we're gonna go ahead and cut 2 lines on each end so it will be more easier to fillet the fish. So when filleting a fish, always make sure to cut it horizontally from up to the bottom and just score it gently. When it comes to filleting a fish, don't rush it too much and always make sure to press your palm against the fillet so that you can get an accurate scoring. Here is the finished product. So once you are done preparing for the fillet, you can actually remove the skin of the fish. But do not worry, this is actually just optional. So up next is the preparation for squid. For squid, all you have to do is separate the head to the body and remove the pen of the squid and wash it thoroughly. Also, remove the beak or the hard part from the head of the squid so that there is no contamination when you are cooking any squid dishes. Once you're done doing both of those, all you have to do now is remove the thin layer of skin from the squid. And also, just a reminder, if you're going to prepare a squid, you can actually save off the black ink or the sack of the squid for future references for making pasta. But as I've showed here, I didn't include it since I'm not going to use it. So what I'm doing here now is I'm cutting it horizontally, calamari style. And so here are the finished product. So up next, we are going to prepare shrimp. So for preparation of squid, you can remove the shell of the head and also the body. Also remove the sharp part from the bottom of the tail so that it will be much more safer to eat. So what I'm doing here right now is I'm cutting across the body of the squid to remove the vein from inside. You can use toothpick or you can just use the tip of your knife, just like so. So what I'm trying to do here now is just I'm cutting the shrimp tempura style. So now for the cocktail shrimp, all you have to do is remove all of the shell and also remove the vein from the shrimp. And here is the cocktail style shrimp. Lastly, for the preparation of the butterfly shrimp, all you have to do is do the procedure same as the tempura style, but the difference is you're going to smash it with your palm. And here is your butterfly shrimp. Hello and mabuhay again. This is Joshua Toca. Now that I've demonstrated how to clean and prepare each food individually earlier, I'm gonna go ahead now and cook them individually. So we're gonna start first with shrimp. So for tempura, all you have to do is mix the all-purpose flour, ice cold water, and also the egg. After you're done mixing, just put the shrimps on the cornstarch and coat them evenly. Right after that, just dip your shrimp that is covered in cornstarch from the butter from earlier and put it on the frying pan. Well, there you have it, regular style tempura. For the remaining batter of your tempura, you can actually use any types of vegetable to fry it. Now that I'm done cooking the shrimp, I'm gonna go ahead and proceed now to squid. For tomato squid stir fry, we're gonna start off first with the sauce. So mix the soy sauce, the oyster sauce, and also tomato sauce. Mine is a Filipino style tomato sauce, so it is much more sweeter. just mince your garlic and your onion, and make sure to wash off your squid. So just mix thoroughly all of the ingredients that is shown earlier, which is garlic, onion, chili pepper, red bell pepper, and carrots, and wait for 2 minutes. So right after that, you can now put the sauce that we made earlier. And just mix it thoroughly, and you can also add water if you want. Now you can add the squid and make sure to just wait 2 minutes since the squid is easily cooked. And here is the tomato squid stir fry. Now that I'm done preparing for the squid, I'm gonna go ahead now and proceed with the fillet fish. So for the preparation of fillet, always make sure to pat it dry so that it is clean and presentable. So what I'm doing here now is I'm just mixing the salt and pepper and rubbing it against the fillet fish. I also added a little bit of cornstarch. So for the sauce, all we have to do is melt down the butter, and I added the garlic so that it has a flavor and aroma. So after a minute or two, you will notice that our butter is turning into golden brown, which is what we're trying to achieve for the sauce. And also add the lemon from earlier. Here, I'm just frying the two fillets together, and I'm just waiting for them to be crispier. So here is the fish fillet with lemon butter sauce. Now that I'm done with seafood, I'm gonna go ahead and proceed now with poultry. So that means I'm gonna cook the chicken lollipops. So for chicken lollipops, just prepare your egg, flour, and also breadcrumbs all together, and just coat your chicken evenly, starting with flour, then egg, and then breadcrumbs. So just a reminder, whenever you're going to cook a meat that is covered with breadcrumbs, always turn the heat to the lowest, since the breadcrumbs will be cooked easily. So for the honey, just mix garlic and then a little bit of soy sauce, and right after that, put the honey. And once it's ready, just put the chicken lollipops together with the sauce and mix it thoroughly. And here is my chicken lollipop.